gets a house.
I didn't know what to expect, honestly. It was like, are we going to an apartment? Was this like a studio kind of vibe?
Well, we did it one time, like, with Basketball Divorce Court. And it was a house. Yeah, it was your old house.
It was our old house.
And so I was just like, it's gotta be in a house unless he really got serious with it. Had to rent a studio for it.
Yeah, if I could afford that, I don't know if I'd be doing my day job.
Listen, mad respect, but, like, love to DIY it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. About.
Oh, yeah.
It's comfy, and then plus it's couches if people need to stay over, like.
Exactly.
So, works out.
Yeah, it's nice. It's like your own little room.
Yeah.
Like for bands and shit.
Yeah.
That's so rad.
That's so sick.
My normal question, does anyone have any unopened beverages they would like to participate in the open crack with?
I will do another one, so I'm
shit.
gonna go through
You know
it.
what? I'm like halfway done, and I know I'm gonna anyways.
There, so.
Yeah, I know I'm gonna anyways. All right.
All right. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to the Beers with Bands podcast with your host, Michael Torres. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Beers with Bands. This week's not really a band. It's, some voices or some writings that you might know of, some pictures you might know of. But this is your chance again to get some faces to the name of the Tumbling Rock Zine. How y'all doing?
Doing good.
Fabulous. It's like 64 degrees out.
So nice.
Finally,
Crazy.
I know. I put on my jacket to come here, and I was like, hell no. I went right back inside. Not even leave it in the car. Like, back inside. Mm-hmm. So nice.
It felt great to be able to go to the grocery store yesterday without a jacket in general.
Yeah, it was like we took the dog out to walk it, and like, I remember just like, a week ago, I was like, hurry up, go to the bathroom. Oh, man. How have you been?
I've been good. I just got back from a work trip on Friday. So
Where were you?
I was in Denver all last week.
How was it?
It was good, but there for work, so...
Exactly,
yeah.
I get that.
Yeah, well, no, I still did.
Okay, very nice.
That didn't stop me. Just living in a hotel for a week kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does.
But,
it feels isolating sometimes.
Yeah, and then, like, not to get off topic already, but, like, there was, like, a giant, like, ag convention in town, so, like...
Like,
Yeah, like, agricultural convention.
Oh, ag. I think you meant AD.
Yeah,
I was like, ag?
Like, look at our billboard style. Like, how do you have an ad?
In agriculture, that is very
that makes
interesting.
more sense.
Yeah. So, like, my hotel was just, like, packed with a bunch of farmers, so, like, trying to eat breakfast in the morning sucked, so I just didn't eat breakfast.
Oh, shoot.
But, that's besides the point, because now I'm here drinking beers talking about music-related stuff.
Exactly.
So it's all worth it.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Before we get too far, can you kind of tell everyone who you are and I guess what you do with Tumbling Rock?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Do you want to...
We'll go down the line.
Sure. Nicole Prestel. I'm co-founder. She founded it, but co-founder, writer, and I think that's it.
Podcast runner.
The podcast. That's a conversation for another. But yes, co-founder and writer.
I'm Danny Larson, so I guess we're doing last names.
Yeah, my bad.
And I started this. I kind of like do the whole magazine side of it. Like besides the writing, I kind of like format it and everything. And yeah, that's about it.
I'm Katie Kelly. I do photographs, and I have a spread in the magazine, and I used to take photos of Danny and Nikki and their other band that they used to have, and that's how we got started and connected, and it just took off from there. They were kind enough to ask me on board, so I take photos and, help them out with whatever they need, so.
She's our secret weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we got Katie Kelly, so, like, we're established.
Here's the thing.
You're legit.
I went to go pick these up. I'm getting sidetracked. I went to go pick these up right beforehand, and I finger gunned the cashier, and I was like,
never coming back here again.
I was like, I'm so sorry, and then I just scurried away.
What led up to the finger gun?
He was just like, I love this beer, and I was like, hell yeah, dude. And I was like, oh. I was like, I'm so sorry.
I'll see myself out.
I immediately left.
Jesus Christ.
So yes.
So that's Tumbling Rock.
Yeah.
These are the idiots behind it. You're welcome.
Well, take me back to that original moment. Like, what was that initial moment to be like, I want to start a zine focusing on, you know, the music scene here in the Twin Cities?
There honestly wasn't, like, where we are today was not even in the realm of possibility. Katie said we were in a band previous to this, and I made the zine as a joke. Because I was like, what would be something cool to hand out at the merch table? Because I work in print production and graphic design, so it's like I can print a couple zines real quick. So I made one just completely ripping our band apart. Like, this band fucking sucks, everybody hates it, like, nobody can play these instruments, like, why are you listening to this band? And we just gave them out at the merch table, and people, like, loved them. It was like, okay, well, we have a bill in about a month. I'll do one with everybody on that bill. Gave them out at that show, everybody loved it again, and I was like, what if I do this for every show? Because we were doing about, like, a show a month at that point, and a month takes about a month to do a magazine anyway. But sadly, the band imploded before the third one happened, and I was like, well, I still told all these people I'm going to do it, so I'm just going to give it out to them and be like, hey, sorry we had to drop off your bill, here's a magazine. And at that point, I think it was Evernorth was like, can we get one? I was like, sure. And then it just kind of like snowballed into, let's make this like a reoccurring thing, because we weren't active in the scene in like the music side of things, but it still kept us connected with everybody, and it was like, I still love seeing all these people. I want to have more of an excuse to be like, hey, let's chat, like, what's going on with you? And now we're on a podcast.
I love that, because like it's kind of the same with this podcast. Like, originally it was just a way to like reconnect with homies at the beginning, and then now it's, you know, 5, almost 6 years later, it's snowballed into what it is now, which I never thought it'd get this far. But I love that, you know, that's kind of how it sparked with you. At what point did you fully say, I'm trying to think how to word this. This happens a lot, so just bear with me.
I'll just go for it.
Yeah.
I'm also going to say I burp a lot when I drink beer, so just
I was so worried about that. I'm so happy you said that.
Yes.
I'm so happy you said that. I was so worried. I was like, it's going to happen. Can you cut this out?
I was just like fighting it that whole time you were talking. It was like, oh no. But
That's so crazy you mentioned that, because I remember when we were both in Iowa City and you first started it, because that's exactly when I started Basketball Divorce Court. Was 6 years ago next month.
Yep.
And I remember
sorry.
I remember when you started and you're like, I'm moving to Minneapolis, and I'm like, and it was right before we were supposed to do a podcast together in Iowa City, and you're like, I moved to Minneapolis, and I'm like, motherfucker. So
Can
mad.
we swear?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Calls to action. Like, go see a show. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't follow radio rules.
It doesn't. No, I'm not going to call out. Yeah.
Yeah, we can if we want to.
We
but-
can.
Yes.
Yes. But it's just so cool to see what, like, Beers with Bands has become, because I remember when it was just, like, in its baby stages, and it's just cool that, like, I love seeing stuff that is like 5 years plus old that people are still doing.
I'm so sorry, man.
Like, you're still doing it. You're like, you're grinding. It's cool to see the grind. It's cool to see how, like, what evolves.
Huge
and
respect.
like, yeah, I can literally see that with like us too, and it's just like we are starting to become like thinking outside the box.
Yes.
Thinking about, like, okay, so, yes, I have a photo spread.
What can we do with it?
What can we do with it? Yeah, like, can we make it a theme? Like, you know, like, in the future issues, we might highlight a show. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of a bigger show, so I did that. Or, like, someone has, like, you know, I've had ideas of, this band came up to me and asked if we could review their upcoming album and shoot their release show. So it's like, that's really cool to do a spread of that. So it's like not limiting ourselves and not conforming to what other zines do, because we're different and we like that, and we just kind of want to, like, you know, highlight those people without making it seem like we're just shoving a bunch of stuff in there to cram as much stuff in there as we can. Like, we take the time and care about what
we really think about, like, like we were talking, it was a venue was just having, like, one of their, like, I think it was, like, their anniversary of being a venue, and it's like, oh, it'd be cool if we could, like, highlight, like, what it was and what it is, and, like, celebrate, like, their birthday and everything, and just, unfortunately, like, we just we kind of fell through the cracks a little bit.
Just
There's
with planning.
a lot going on right now.
There's a lot
but
happening right
it's
now.
just, like, we're not really confined to, okay, we're only doing pictures of
Right.
this. It's like it's her spread. It's like
what can we do with those pictures?
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's like what story can we tell with them? Is
Not just like, hey, I went to a show. I went to a couple shows this month. Here are they. But I mean, we can do that and just be like, hey, here's a couple cool shows, but do it in a way where it highlights it more than just being like, slap a picture on, like, maybe tell a little blurb with it or something, you know, like, mixing it up, not having the same thing every month. Again, going outside of the box, what can you do with it?
Right.
Exactly.
Because, I mean, like, every magazine we kind of look at, as much as it stays the same, you kind of want that little bit of...
More variety.
Yeah, variety, different between issue to issue, which I think is really cool, too, that you guys do a alternative cover that people can get on the Patreon.
That's something you came up with. It's a Patreon exclusive, so send me that money. No, I'm kidding. Please don't. Please don't.
Not about that.
But no, it's because a lot of the times, like, it's really difficult to decide who's going to be on the cover because we are highlighting 5-6 bands an issue, and it's like, well, this one looks cool, but this one looks fucking sick also. Like, don't make me choose. And it's like, fuck it, let's just do 2 covers. And typically if a band is, like, last issue was Zach Baker was the main, and then King Size Coffin was the alt, and it's like, we hit the band up and we're like, hey, we're not going to make you pay for the alt cover, we're going to send you a bunch of those, and then if you want the Zach Baker one, like, you can go out in the wild and find it, which... I think works out pretty well, and if I was in a band, I would be psyched if I was on the cover of a magazine, which, again, is kind of what started this whole thing.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it was a joke. I made a joke, and now it's a business, I guess.
That's how I started my band.
Yeah,
That's literally how I started my band. I got drunk, and I was like, I'll do it. They're like, have you ever sang before? No.
I'll figure it out.
I'll figure it out. Now, 6 years later, Jesus Christ. Still kicking.
So how daunting was it? Like, obviously, it's, you know, like we're saying, it started out as a joke. You did it as more just show promotion for the bands that were on it originally. How daunting was taking that initial step to be like, okay, we're gonna make this like a legit thing and cover more than just the bands that are gonna be on this bill?
It was, but it wasn't, because we're kind of established in the scene. Like, we had enough friends where it was more like, hey, my friend's running a magazine, instead of, this is a magazine, they're like, I want to get in it. So we were just like, hey, man, went up to bands we were kind of tight with, was like, hey, can we cover you in the magazine? And it's just like free promotion. So I don't think we had anybody be like, fuck no, or like...
It was more just like, you know, when you think about the reception, because it goes from like kind of a jokey-ish merch item to something that's we want people to be engaged with and read and enjoy. I think it was like kind of like issue 4 where that tide sort of turned.
Yeah, but again, issue 4 was like my best friend's band. It was like, we kind of went with people at first. We were like asking people, and then by issue 5 or 6, people were coming to us and like, hey, how do I get in on this? Like, can I do it? And there wasn't really like that, like, it wasn't that hard, I guess. And I didn't really notice much of a transition between, okay, this is a joke and we're actually doing this, because we still try not to take it super seriously. Like, obviously we want to put out a good product, but we don't want to take the fun out of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, even with you, that's the same thing I say with this, is like, the moment it becomes a job and starts feeling like work, is where it needs to end.
Yep.
Thankfully that time hasn't come yet, and thankfully it hasn't. It sounds like it's nowhere near with the 3 of you as well, because right now we're on issue 10.
Issue 10 is going to be next week. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, approaching a full year of doing the zine.
Yeah, we're getting close.
Like, I know this episode comes out at like the end of April, so we'll be even that much closer to it. Like, can we expect like any big, like, special 1-year anniversary version?
Yeah, we're kind of doing a few things right now. By the time this podcast comes out, we'll have announced it. We're putting together a 3-day festival. We're calling it Mayhem because it's in May. But that's kind of like the unofficial celebration, because I don't really know when we could say that the official start date for Tumbling Rock was. It was like around July, June-ish, I think.
Yeah, is it issue 1, or is it issue 3, or is it issue 4 when we like started to really take it serious? At what point, I guess it would be issue 1, but at the same time, what do we want to celebrate? But again, like she was alluding to, I don't want to cut you off, but
No, you're good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the only one talking.
No, you're fine.
Sorry.
Yeah, she
Sorry.
mentioned it. The kind of 1 year thing would be like Mayhem.
Mm-hmm.
So it's 3 nights, 3 bands, and I know you're doing Beers with Bands Fest as well. Same month. It doesn't overlap.
Okay.
So we're good.
Yeah, you
It's
can
like
make
2
both
weeks
of them.
before. We're good.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
say we're gonna have.
May's
Yeah.
a big
We'll have
month.
beef.
May's a big month.
Yeah,
We
if
also share it.
if I saw that and if it did align, we would have changed it for sure.
Oh hell.
But yeah,
What
it's gonna
time?
be 3 days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
3 days, 3 different
Ripping it.
venues. I guess, according to some of the bands we asked, festival is probably not the best term
Like
we
maybe
could have
It's
festival.
chosen.
like it's
a-
weird
it's a
because it's like a
weekender.
weekender,
Right.
Like, but we have again we'll have announced it right
Yeah.
by the time this comes out. Having a screamo night Thursday, punk night,
Hell yeah.
which I'm gonna be playing.
Yes.
I'm super
Slut and
excited.
We're so
Slut
excited.
and Tent, and okay, yeah, this is gonna be nice. Anita Velveeta.
Yeah, we got
We'll
some
be
heavy
on there.
hitters on the
Yeah.
bill.
Yep, and then the next night will just kind of be like, kind of like a garage rock.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I'd
guess-
say like garage rocky night, like nothing. We were gonna try to make another themed night, and it just didn't work out. So we were just like, fuck it, we'll just put
Just
like
ask our
bands.
friends,
We'll put
yeah.
just badass bands on the bill that we love in town, and
Yeah.
who cares? It doesn't need to be a genre, but it's like
Just call it Chaos Night or something.
exactly
yeah.
just like chaos, yeah, and it's really cool because it'll be at Clash, Pillar, and Cadence. So 3 different venues.
I'd argue those are probably some of the staple venues.
Exactly,
Like, especially starting out as a band, like you have played at
Yes.
least one of those, so hopefully you're gonna play one of those.
Yeah, and so it's really cool. Like, I love all those venues. Cadence has been around forever. Pillar, I have so much love for Pillar and Clash. Those are my homies. I love Clash.
Clash is great.
Clash, if you're listening, I love you.
Clash sponsor me.
Yeah, Clash. I don't play the drums,
I
but
do,
I will for you.
Clash, please.
But yeah, no, so it's gonna be 3 nights of just like so much fun, so much love, so much community, so much music, loud ass music, free earplugs at the door kind of venue. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
That's awesome. Like, I see what you're saying. Where like, even though it's 3 different days, 3 different venues, it's not fully a fest. But I would still consider it a fest by, since the 3 of you are still putting it on, it's like one big occasion.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like I know 314 Punk, they're based out of like St. Louis. They did like the same thing recently where they did, like a hardcore night, an emo night, and like a punk night, and just like being able to do that, like, is so cool to get everything put together, because I know how hard it is just to do one show.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's
to do 3 different venues, 3 different sets of bands, like.
It's
Bad
really
props.
Yeah, setting one
yeah.
bill up is a challenge enough, and we're like, you kind of.
Luckily,
came
I've
up with, we
luckily
came up
I've
with the
booked
idea.
enough shows in my lifetime to
Her
know.
name carries some weight, so.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, the weird thing is like, again, I've been doing this shit for so fucking long that it's like I've made the connections, especially through like photographing bands. Like, I've probably made more connections doing that in the last year and a half than like
Well, that's how we met.
with my exactly. That's how I meet. Last year I photographed 168 sets. So yeah, it's like but the thing is, it makes me so in touch with the community and what's happening, which makes it easier to book shows. And it's like, I know where the kids like to come out to. I know the all ages venues. I don't know everything though, and that's the beautiful part of it. And that's where other people come in to help me, because I don't know everything, but I feel like I'm skilled enough to know that, like, what's going to make this successful for us and not just another show, you know? So,
because we're not just trying to put on a show, we're trying to sell out these venues, because
Yeah,
they, like, have done so much for us, especially Cadence was our first drop point for magazines, because
yeah.
after the band, like, broke up, we couldn't really like hand them out at a merch table.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's like, Cadence is kind of cool. They have a magazine shelf. Like, let's just
Well,
put like 10 magazines there.
And all of these venues, Pillar, Clash, and Cadence, you can pick up Tumbling Rock.
yes, you
issues.
can. Yeah, they've all,
Which is a huge
one
thing.
way or another, have become part of our like distribution sites.
Yeah, so like they've really supported us just like we want to support them.
It's just kind of like a give back. If we can get this show to sell out, like,
that'd be sick.
We want to give
Yeah.
back to the venue just as
Yeah.
much as they want to give back to us.
mm-hmm.
So
No,
those,
it's awesome. I hope the 3 days sells out. Obviously, time's construct, so we're recording now, but I hope they've all sold out either the day of or before.
Yeah, that'd be crazy if they did.
Because it's so, like you said, like there's 3 staples venues, especially for DIY bands in the Twin Cities. And a lot, not just for DIY bands, I'd say, like for kids that are wanting to see all ages shows, like those are the 3 great spots to go to.
So important.
And I love, also big fan of Pillar. I haven't been to, I've been to Cadence, the third one.
Clash
I have not been to.
I love Clash. They got a parking lot.
They have a parking lot.
Hell yeah.
You wouldn't think that would be a big deal, but I'll tell you what.
Especially being a band loading in.
Yeah.
Like, Cadence, you kind of have to pray that one
that little
strip
spot.
is, like, open. Otherwise, you're hauling shit down towards the end of the street.
Yup.
No,
a little bit same with Pillar, but, like, my ass always gets there early, so I'm the one whipping it in the spot. So people are pissed at me for getting that spot. So, but yeah, Clash, Pillar, Cadence, all amazing venues. So couldn't ask for a better lineup of what we're gonna be doing.
Yeah, and shout out to Cadence. They were kind of like, again, they were our first drop point, but also they kind of like planted the seed of, because we were dropping off, like, I think it was like issue 6 maybe. They're like, yeah, if you guys ever want to put on a festival, we'll totally host. And we're like, okay.
And out of nowhere, like, all right, okay, I don't know how we're going to do that.
Okay, guys, we're putting on a festival. So yeah, it was like, of course we have to include Cadence some way, because they were, in a way, like, they gave us the confidence to kind of go to different venues and be like, hey, can we put our magazine here?
Right.
Like, please, oh please. And
Well, and like a lot of these bands are like, there's a lot of, like, for instance, on Screamo Night, it's a lot of new bands. It's a lot of new bands. Like, there's Pointless Animal. They're a newer band in the city. Lover Girl, amazing band. But I'm a little biased because my guitarist is in it.
Oh, yeah, we were talking to Angie, and she didn't, like, realize that she was on the bill. Because, yeah, we were,
And Blue Driver Angie.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were just talking, and she's like, hey, if you guys need another band for Screamo Night, I'm like, oh, Lover Girl's already on the bill.
Babe,
she's like,
like,
oh.
Babe, I promise you're playing it, don't worry. But, like, there's also very, I don't know, there's very influential bands for me personally, like, having booked this, specifically Anita Velveeta.
Yeah.
Like, not to fangirl, because, like, genuinely, she's
I will fangirl.
I will fangirl over her as much as, like, I'm just also her friend, but, like, I can't say enough good things about Anita, and she has been such an influential part of my life, and, like, the way I look at music, the way I write music, the way I listen to music, and she just, like, banger after banger after banger. I don't know how the fuck she does it. I don't know how she does it. I don't know how you do it. I'm gonna make her watch this.
It's her superpowers.
It is. And she's doing the damn thing. She's touring all the fucking time.
Yeah,
she is doing what I aspire to do as a musician, and I know if I just said it, like, I'd be like, I want to do what you want to do, and she's like, do it.
Yeah,
like, she's the person to be like, do it. And that is so, like, again, very inspirational for me. And so, like, having her, being able to play on the same stage as her, with her, is such an honor. Every single fucking time I've done it, it's like, I do not want to play after her. I always make her go after me, no matter what. That will never, ever change.
Yeah, I have yet to see, like, an Anita show that has not been completely packed.
No, I almost die at every Anita show, and it's so worth it. So fucking worth it. I'm like, well, we'll see if my camera lasts. We'll see. Because,
like, I don't break the lens.
Yeah, literally one time, like, her foot was, like, this close to my lens, and I was like, well, if it goes, it goes. If anyone's gonna break it, it better be Anita. Yeah.
It's like, of all people.
Right. So it's not only just, like, bands that are cool, the cities, which there are a shitload of cool bands. Yeah. There's something in the water up here that I don't understand, but I love very much. And it's like, we want to highlight those new bands. We want to highlight those icons. We want to highlight bands that deserve the attention that, not saying they're not getting, but saying that, like, they should be getting. And
yeah, that's kind of the whole point of the magazine is like,
exactly,
all you go to these bigger bands and you're like, hey, can you get on the can you, like, be in the magazine? Like, sure, they'll be appreciative, but if you go to, like, this band that's got, like, brand new, no following, they're not even on Spotify, and you just like, hey, you want to be in the magazine? They're just like, oh my god, let's go! Like, yes, they're so appreciative, and it's like...
They are. That's the same thing when I shoot bands, like, all of the bands I've ever shot, so appreciative. I'm appreciative of them, but, like, you see, like, work with high school kids sometimes, which fucking rocks. If you're in high school and you want to start a band, do it. Fucking do it. Because...
Covered one.
They literally, like, it's just a different world to them where they're just like, if I had done music in high school, like, I started when I was 22. I started, I feel like, kind of late. And
That's when I started.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, but there's, and when I say kind of late, I mean in like,
The realms of everybody around us.
the perspective of, yes, like, there are high schoolers that I work with who message me and they're just like, well, my mom has to drive me. So, and I'm just like, holy shit.
I hate that.
Yeah,
shit.
like,
Yeah.
literally, one
It's
time
like,
someone said, like, I wish I could have came to the show, but my mom just didn't want to drive me to a house show, and I was like, straight up, good.
Thanks for being
Thank God.
honest.
But, like, you work with these, to bring it back around, you work with these, like, high schoolers, and they are just, like, so fucking stoked that someone outside of their friend group
Is
wants
giving them the time of day.
giving them attention of, like, you are doing something that is fucking cool. Because, of course, I think it's cool. It's fucking cool. Of course. Like, being in a band, like, saying that and shit, like...
Oh my god, if I was in a band in high school...
If I was in a band in high
please,
school,
like,
I'd tell everyone to fuck off.
for
But,
real.
like, I'd be like, oh, really? But, like, yeah, it's like, it is, they do appreciate it. There is just a different level of appreciation. Again, not saying no one else appreciates it, but, like, the kids, dude, like, the kids are all ages, like, that's
And
the way to go.
What you always say is, like, the difference between someone's music before and after they go viral is just the amount of people listening to it. Like, there are so many good bands in this area. It's Minnesota in general, but especially the Twin Cities. They all seem to flock here for some reason. But, like, there's, like, one comment that, like, really stood out to me on our most recent post was someone commented, like, never heard of King Size Coffin, now I'm obsessed. It's like, that's what we're doing this for. So, like, all these bands are so great, like, they might not be exactly your taste, but they're someone else's, and now they're obsessed with it, and that's all I want.
Right, or they find King Size Coffin, see, like, a show flyer that they're playing on, and do that, like, going down the rabbit hole of, like, who are these other bands that they're also playing with in the Twin Cities, and going that way. Like,
It's discovery.
That's another thing, is, like, a lot of reasons why people don't go out to shows, they just don't know people. It's like, pick up a copy of Tumbling Rock, here's 6 fucking amazing bands. Pick one.
And, you know, I have had people come up to me and they're just like, how can I get into photography? How can I, like, get into the scene? Like, what do I do? Go to shows. Talk to people. Yeah. Do it. That's all you can do. Like, when I first started photography, like, I go to shows. Of course I go to fucking shows. But, like...
I hope you go to shows.
Yeah, I think I would fucking hope I do, too. Yeah, like, I used to just, like... what do I do to advance, like, my photography? How do I level up? Go to more shows. Go to more shows, talk to more people, make those connections, do it for free. Just, like, put your foot in the door, put yourself out there.
Which I feel like you see that kind of in waves.
Yeah.
Like, there'll be times where I'll be at a show and I'll see some, like, younger kids taking photos and, like, getting their foot into it and trying to get used to it. And then, like, it seems to, like, go away for a while, and then, like, it's just another generation trying to get into it.
The amount of photographers, like, every time... Okay, I will say, I love going to shows and seeing another photographer. I think that fucking rocks. When there's 8 other ones, I get a little, like... But, like, I'm not gonna lie. I know other photographers feel the same way. No one can be a hater right now. But, like, it is... Like, I remember... One moment that meant a lot to me, and I just saw them actually coming full circle. This person came up to me and he was like, how do I get into concert photography? How do I do it? Like, he genuinely asked me, like, very seriously. And I was like, again, go to shows, do it for free, put yourself out there. Like, go to shows that you want to go to.
Right.
Like, not that people are asking you to go to. Go to shows that, like, you're just like, oh my god, I could get photos of, like, again.
Well, what's that? There's a photographer, John Oakes, I think is his
He's
name.
amazing.
Just rolls up to shows and takes these amazing pictures and dips. It's like,
yeah, literally.
It's like, I didn't know you were here. Thank you.
Yeah, literally. Like, just amazing. And I just went to Pillarform's Rage and Reset. I got asked to shoot the Friday show. Thank you, Juno. And I saw him there. And it was It was his first show he was shooting.
Oh,
that's so
and
good.
He came, and he was like, I was seriously hoping I would see you here. And he was shooting a film camera. And I was like, good for you. I don't know anything about film cameras. I don't know anything about film cameras. If you're a film photographer, fuck yeah, because I don't know how to do that. But, like, it literally made me, like, want to tear up, because it's just like, that rocks. You're going to shows by yourself, and you're doing it. Like, put yourself out there, even if it's scary.
Yep.
It really is just going to shows.
Yeah. I wouldn't even, like, if you're scared, like, unless you're just that drunk asshole in the pit, you should have no reason to be scared. People,
you should have no reason.
Don't notice you unless you're in the way. Like,
just no, literally.
It's
like,
normal for nerves, but yeah, there's no real reason.
Oh, yeah, no, it's not like you have to go to a show and be in the mosh pit or something. Like, I've gone to so many shows that I just go by myself, because I'm just like, fuck yeah, like, my boyfriend can't come with me, I don't care. Right. Like, I'll just go by myself. Like, doesn't matter. There's shows I want to shoot, like, you know, there's a show at Zora Darling that I would like to shoot, and I might go by myself because I want to, and I don't give a shit. Like, you know, it is scary. Like, I still get nerves going by myself, especially when there's other photographers there, and I'm kind of like, don't want to be in the way kind of thing.
They should be scared of you.
They should be, you know what, they should
keep the shit out of them.
Scared of me. Yeah, no,
the
411, the 411 flash. yeah, right in their face. And so it
go away.
I don't even know what I was talking about because I have ADHD, but, like, yeah, go to shows.
Yeah,
go to shows.
Get us on track.
All right.
What are you talking about?
Not only, like we said, we're approaching the 10-month and you know, final, like, not final, but, like, 1 year mark of Tumbling Rock. But y'all are not just doing the zine anymore at this point. You've started doing live sessions.
Yes.
And doing a podcast on top of this all.
Yeah, they're kind of coinciding.
Okay.
So it's a podcast, and then after that because we're fortunate enough where we're filming at the garage, which RIP.
Yeah, at this point, RIP.
But, we kind of struck a deal with them where it's like, hey, can we use your recording space to do a podcast and then give the bands, like, a 3-song live session? And they're like, fuck yeah, like, that'll be great promo. And then sadly they announced they're going under, so this is definitely going to be a limited series until we can kind of find another studio that'll let us do the same thing. But, I mean, if it's short-lived, then it's short-lived. At least we got to do it.
Yeah. We have a lot of good people on there. People at this point, we would have shown Sonic Sea Turtles, Kiernan, remind me. Afters.
Keep It Cheap, Blue
Driver, Keep It Cheap.
And then Mary Jam.
Mary Jam, yes.
Potentially
at least,
Wing
yeah,
Beaver.
there might be more people. Just depends on how schedules line up.
Right.
But yeah, the recording session, it's just, I'm always of the mindset of, like, kind of like she said, you know, the difference between a band before and after virality is just the amount of viewers. The music doesn't change. It's the same song.
Yeah.
So as much as we can give our platform to these people, you know, let them show who they are, make them become human. Because I think a lot of people are actually, I don't know, a little maybe scared. Like,
well, yeah,
I don't know if that's the
mean,
right word.
No, live sessions. Wait, are you talking about live sessions?
No,
Well,
just meetings.
Oh, live sessions are terrifying. Like, I've done a live session with Ear Coffee. Love Ear Coffee, but, like, that shit's scary. like it's raw.
Right.
It's very raw. And it's just kind of like, you know, you gotta play the whole song through kind of thing. Yeah. Like, you know, sometimes on stage, I'll forget my lyrics, sometimes on stage. Yeah, it's scary, but it's fun. Like, it's
a good kind of scary.
And it is a very good kind of scary.
On top of that too, though, like, a lot of people think, I've been on an MCR kick recently, so, like, Gerard Way and, like, the whole crew, MCR, to us, you know, they're like, maybe not to us, but at least to me, that's like an untouchable god, you know, like a music legend, whatever. But the reality of the situation is people are people, right? Humans are humans. And so, like, when you can create a human out of someone that previously people maybe would have idolized as a god, it's like, oh, maybe I can do this too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exactly it. Like, when I was little tiny baby Danny and I was 19 and I went to my first house show and was like, ooh, what is this? Like, you're my age. I can do that? One of the first bands that I, like, really fell in love with locally was Sonic Sea Turtles. And I was like, these people, I could never approach them. Like, I'm scum to them. And then we hosted them on the podcast, like, a month or two ago. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, we just talked about Legos for, like, 40 minutes.
Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting.
It humanizes people.
Yeah,
it really
exactly.
humanizes people. Like, I played a show last summer, and it was a super influential band. I won't name names, but it was a really big, like, pivotal moment for me in my music career, and I realized, like, it ain't shit. Like, it ain't shit. And they are just normal people, and it really brings you back down. But it's like, once you get those experiences, it's like, it humbles you, and it was a turning point for me, definitely, in my career. I've been doing this again for 6 years, and at 5 years in, I was like, I didn't realize, like, people are just fucking people.
Yeah.
We're doing the same thing, playing the same stage. You are, like, we are on the same playing field right now, like, in this moment in time. And there are a lot of bands that I think should, like, touch grass every once in a while.
Yeah.
But, like, for the most part, that turning point really, like, let me tell you, I love Chapel Roan. Let me tell you. But if I had met her in person, I would kind of geek a little bit, and then afterwards I'd be like, dude, why'd I do that? Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm sure she's extremely cool and, like, a chill person, and, like, again, don't know her. Wish at Chapel, if you want to hit me up. But, like,
Trying to chill.
if you're trying to chill and get to know me,
Hit my
hit me up, hit my line. But in all seriousness, like, it really, like, humbles you, brings you back down to earth a little bit. And
Did we answer the question?
I have no idea.
I don't think so.
No, so,
What was the question?
well, we were just talking about how you had started, the podcast.
Oh,
and
we're
then
branching
leading in-
out. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
basically
yeah.
branching out. Which, as someone that just does the podcast version, I can't imagine, like, doing the podcast, recording a live session, getting that all set up,
It's a
and
lot.
doing a zine.
It's a lot.
Like,
There have been some moments.
They are the podcast people. Like, I just sit there sometimes. I did it once. Busy girl. But, like, busy girl. But, no, like, they give it up for them, because seriously,
Don't give
that
it up
shit,
for them.
dude, no, seriously, I watch y'all do it, like, it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work, and they don't express it. Like, I saw that, and I was like, holy fucking shit. Like, they had cameras everywhere, lights, like, they had the whole thing set up, and, like,
That's all you
they-
do. I just kind of roll up to the podcast.
you know, they have to, like, upload it, edit it, like, make everything, they do the whole fucking thing, and I'm just there to witness the greatness of it, and watch all of these, like, well, the one time, but I've seen all of the bands that have been on the podcast, at least most of them, actually, but, it's just cool being, like, making it come full circle. You see this band, and then you get to work with the band.
Yep.
right.
Mm-hmm.
That fucking rocks.
that was Sonic Sea Turtles for me, and then my first house show was Keep for Cheap, so, like,
Yep.
being able to, like, talk to them and be like, I know you. I love
Right.
you. Like,
But yeah,
it's
it's a lot
crazy.
of work.
Like,
It's
just,
a fuck ton of
yeah.
work.
It, like,
Especially
seriously.
with Mayhem as well, because we're planning Mayhem and doing the podcast and doing the zine.
Yeah,
Right.
like, the magazine comes first. Just, like, I don't want to compromise anything.
Yes.
Like, that was something we were just talking about today, is, like, we want to expand and maybe look into doing other things, too, but it's, like, at what point do we have to start taking on more people, because
Right.
there's only 3 of us right now,
Yeah.
and we're already doing a shit ton, and I can't take much more of it.
With the garage going away, have you, like, thought of anywhere else that might work to continue that version?
There's a
of Tumbling
couple
Rock?
studios that have come to mind, we just haven't really reached out to them.
Yeah, we haven't reached out yet, particularly because, like, you're right. A lot of people maybe by the point that this goes live, people will know. But right now, unless you're following our stories, because we don't make a post about it, it's just a story.
Right.
So unless you're following the story, you kind of don't know that we're doing it. After everything's recorded and edited, you're
I'm
good.
so sorry.
After burps with bands.
Yeah.
After everything's recorded, we'll make a trailer and everything. Season 1 is what we're going to call it. And if anyone, like any bands, or sorry, not bands, if any
Studios.
studios like it and want to have us do it there,
Mm-hmm.
we're more than happy to do so. Call to action, reach out. You know, if you're interested in having
If you
the
own
Tumbling
a
Rock
studio
podcast.
and don't hate Tumbling Rock.
Yeah, we are more
Hit
than
us
willing.
up.
It's just we don't want it to go away. Like I do all the editing for it,
Right.
and it's so fun to listen to. There are times where I'm editing it, and I have to go back because I'm just watching it, and I have to come. Okay, I have to edit this and chop it up. So that's how I know it's going to be a good product.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to continue doing it. It's just the logistics of it,
Right.
and hopefully. Any studios out there who are willing to have us, we are more than happy to engage that conversation.
Otherwise, we might just DIY the fuck out of it.
Yeah, I don't want to compromise. That comes to the
That's
quality.
another thing
Right.
is like the quality might. Well, definitely.
It will. And I don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Now, would it affect the quality if, let's say, like, Cadence or Pillar was like, hey, come use our stage, do it here if you wanted to?
I don't think it would
wouldn't
necessarily, because like by DIY I mean like we'd be like setting it up in our fucking basement. Like,
Yeah.
and again like for a podcast that works pretty well. I think most podcasts are kind of like that anyway.
Yeah.
But like for a live session, like you want the acoustics to be good. You kind of want pretty high end like
Audio
microphones.
Enough
and-
space.
yeah, you want the space for it. And if we had like a stage, like I'm sure we could probably make it work. But again, it's like kind of down to the recording quality,
Here's the
especially if
thing.
we bring the live sessions to
Yeah.
it.
He's got me thinking thoughts that we're gonna talk about afterwards. You know what I'm talking
And
about?
we've floated ideas
Thinking
similar.
thoughts.
We're thinking thoughts.
We don't want to
Cut
make
her
any
off,
moves
she's
until we're
thinking
sure.
thoughts. Totally fine.
Cut her out.
Yeah.
But we're thinking thoughts.
Yeah, because it just brings me back to during COVID when Gabe's back in Iowa City did like the no touching sessions. Like their sound engineer would bring brands in and just use the stage and like use the venue to still record like live
Yep.
sessions. Since no one could really go in anyways. And especially with the connection with Cadence and Pillar, I think that'd be really cool if that
Well,
would ever work
That's
out.
something
And
we
it would
might be
be-
able to. We had actually tossed that idea around of like,
Between each other.
yeah, we didn't include you in this conversation.
It was a conversation in the car. But
Oh
before,
my God.
before anything,
Oh my
I want to
god,
shout
I'm
out
such a third wheel.
Okay.
Jason
Pillar.
is the person, our audio engineer. He's
Yeah.
not here. He's the one who like records
Oh, yeah,
everything,
yeah,
mixes
yeah.
everything.
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
Jason
yes.
deserves a fuck ton of credit. Jason, if you're watching this, we
also,
love you.
his band is amazing.
Yes, the name is
The name
me.
is escaping me, but they sound like Arctic Monkey vibes so hard, and I
Oh my
love it
gosh.
so much. I'm gonna find it. Where's my phone?
But yeah,
Continue.
yeah, Jason records everything for us. Make sure everything sounds good. He mixes the band's live sessions
Okay.
together. So that part is not me. I get all the footage and all the audio. I chop it up, make it palatable.
Right.
But Jason is the one who does all the audio. So huge props to
I don't know
Jason.
how I'm gonna find this. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
I don't know what I was
jeez.
gonna look for.
It was mentioned once. I feel so bad. Can we make it like an addendum? Can we like put a
Yeah.
link or something? Because I want to give him the props. He deserves all the credit in the world for what he's doing.
Of course, yeah. Just send me the link and I'll
100%.
throw it in.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's Jason. He's a great guy.
Shout out, Jason. No, he's awesome. Obviously he's in a band himself, so he knows like what to look for and like, oh, I bet you they appreciate this, blah blah blah. But also he's kind of gonna be freelancing, so we're
Yeah.
hopefully whatever studio, if we are able to continue it, we're just gonna bring him along.
I would love to.
I
Yeah.
have ideas. We'll talk. We'll talk.
We'll have some chat.
Just remind me I have ADHD.
That's okay, me too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I know.
Oh god. Alright, it's on you.
Oh, I'm not great either. Keep us on track. What did you?
Yeah. So, that I still think that's amazing that you're doing all these like big things on top of everything because,
Classic big things.
big things coming.
Yeah.
Because like me just doing this by myself, like I've always felt like doing that next step was always so daunting. Like moving to video, okay, I don't think I should do that. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. Did that, and now I'm just like, okay, now I'm good. And
Yeah.
like there's things that are floating out there besides like the fest of like
Yeah.
more things to do, and I'm just like I don't have the time.
That's
So
a big
it's nice
part of
that
it.
you at least have more than one person to like
Exactly.
Yeah.
to spread it around and like do these big moments and like do live sessions on top of everything else that y'all have going on. Like it adds so much more to Tumbling Rock in itself.
Yeah, exactly that. It's we wanted like I've actually talked about this in the car too. Like Tumbling Rock, I want like my vision of it at least. Everyone has their own vision, of course, but I see it being kind of like a source. It's like a central point for like if you're new to the state, you know, what is happening? If you're existing in the state,
Yeah.
what's the new stuff that's happening?
Right.
You know, and everyone can come together, and you know, we have Katie to the fucking Kelly, doing
Katie
a
the
lot of stuff
goddamn
for us.
Kelly, goddamn.
And I imagine a situation where, like, in the future, we have more than just her.
Yeah.
You know, and like there are other. Let's say we were here 10 years from now,
God
there'll be a full couch of people,
Right.
God.
and it'll be all of Minnesota's content creators. Not all, but you know, like a lot of Minnesota content creators for music, whether that be the interview space, whether that be the photography space,
Right.
event coordination, artistry, you name it. You know, I envision a space where we can just have all of that in one magazine, and you're learning about the scene and all of its different facets.
Right.
You know, it's not going to be just music. It'll be a lot more. And
yeah, because there's a lot.
It's
that
more
goes
than
into
just
it.
music.
Yeah.
It's the community.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
it's community driven,
Mhm.
exactly.
And there's no limits. You know what I mean? Like, again, like, I just take fucking photos. I mean, I play, but, like, in reality,
Yeah,
like,
when's
what
that
I...
basketball feature gonna happen?
You just tell me when, boo. You just tell me when.
You know fuck what? You have a say in this magazine too.
I know, you're right, you're right. But, like, it's interesting that you say that, because that has been my, like, me personally, not to make it about me, but, like,
What the hell?
I know. Like, it is literally, like, what's next and what's gonna make me content. And, like, what can I do with this? Because it's always like, okay, yeah, now I'm settled. And then you're like, there's the next thing out there. Like, for instance, I just bought a new lens that really...
Open some doors.
I had to save a couple months for, and, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm set. I'm fucking
I'm gonna
set.
get
Like,
this in
that's all.
You hear that?
Yup.
Nice.
We're on number 3. You might be driving home.
Yes. And, and, like, it's always like, what am... I always look and I'm like, God, I want to do that. And then I'm like, and I know I don't have the lens for that.
Mhm.
And it's just like...
It's like you get one piece of equipment and you're like, but now I want this.
And you always want to do more and more and more, and I think that's really the vibe of this magazine.
If I could expand on that too, a lot of like what I think about her corner too. It's the spread is Katie's corner,
Mm-hmm.
and
With a K.
with a K.
With a K, with a K.
And I like the idea of like, you know, she's not only showing off her photos or whatever highlights there are, but also technique and photo by telling storytelling by photo.
Mm-hmm.
And for anyone who's wanting to get in photography, maybe they don't care about anything else in Tumbling Rock, but they go to Katie's corner and they're gonna read her blurb and they're gonna say, "Oh, she tried this technique. Let me try that on my own."
Yeah, and like that's exactly stuff I can write about. Is like maybe sometime I'll like share what gear I use.
Literally,
Like
right.
doing like that. Be like, hey, like you want to shoot photos?
This is
Let's
what I
talk.
use.
Yeah.
This is what I use. You don't have to use it, but at least you can reference it, see what you like, see what you don't
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And I think that's awesome.
Or maybe one day do like an in-person, like Tumbling Rock presents Katie at like whatever venue, and you have all
Exactly.
these like new up-and-coming like photographers come through and do a class.
That's
Like,
another
God.
thing.
Thinking
Too.
thoughts,
You
thinking thoughts.
know.
Write that down.
Yeah,
Write that down,
yeah.
write that down.
I didn't
No,
think
that's
so
about
these
another
are great
thing,
ideas
like-
that I'm not going to use, so like just take.
that. Yeah, that's huge. I legitimately didn't think about that.
No, at least we
Great.
passed
Yeah,
on
no,
the
No, for
idea.
her to teach a class,
Oh,
bro.
for Katie Kelly's class.
Honestly,
The Katie's
With a
like,
K.
class.
Oh no, not through
Oh,
Katie
no, no,
Kelly's
no.
class.
Nope. We'll do a
No.
C with that one. Do a C with that one.
Just
but
2 words.
Or just
Yeah.
Katie's class.
Katie's class.
Katie's class. Yes, I would love to do that. I think it would be great. I think it would be
I'll
very.
come with, because I want to learn this shit.
It would be. It's like not to be that person, but I am completely self-taught. I bought a really fucking shitty camera off of Facebook Marketplace. Best idea. If you ever want any advice to start photography, I'm looking at the camera.
Not even Facebook, like, not even photography, just anything.
Yeah.
Anything,
Facebook
buy
Market.
the shittiest thing you can find, buy the cheapest thing you can find, learn off of it, and then
When you
every
get that-
time you upgrade,
Yeah.
it's not such a fucking stepping
Yeah.
stone, like to fucking, like, it's not that high of a staircase, you know what I mean? Like, you
Well, yeah,
already
it's
have the
like-
basics, and then it's like, okay, got a little bit better one. And so what I did is I got this really shitty camera. And long story short, upgraded once, got the Nikon D3400 for dummies. Yup.
Like the book.
The book, the yellow and black for dummies book. I shit you not. Read that shit front to back. That's how I know everything I know how to do. Seriously, read up. If you love it, just keep going to shows.
Yeah.
Keep shooting. Keep doing it. But at the same time, it does take a lot of discipline, does take a lot of work, and if you care about it, read about it.
Yeah.
Like, see what other people are doing. I'm on a lot of shamelessly Facebook fucking pages where it's like photography for beginners. I learn stuff so much from beginners that it's crazy. So it doesn't matter what level you are, you can learn from anyone. And I think that's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, it's again, going outside of the box. What can we do with it? You know, photos are photos. Like, you can post any photos, you can show any photos. Okay, well, what's the story behind it?
Mm-hmm.
What can you do
How
with
did that
it?
photo come to
How did that photo
Yeah.
come to light? You know, like, what equipment do I use? Like, can I teach a class with it? You know, stuff like that. And I think that's what makes Tumbling Rock so special, is because, like, we think outside the box. We don't just be like, oh, here's a zine, here's highlight. No, like, what can we do with that content? How can we help this artist?
Yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
So, yeah.
We're trying to give a platform to artists who otherwise
Yes.
wouldn't have it.
Yes.
So, like, again, like, this issue we're covering a band who's very new. I don't even think they have, like, a Spotify or anything. 'Cause I usually link it, like, here, scan this code, you get to Spotify. But they don't even have that, which is fine. Like, if you want to just do Bandcamp or not even, like, record yourself, totally fine. Like, to each their own. But it's like, had I come to this, like, say I'm new in Minnesota, and I pick up this magazine, and I'm like, who the fuck is this band? Like, I'm going through, like, I never would have heard of this band otherwise
Yeah.
if I hadn't gone through this magazine. And I just think that's, like, again, just being on the other side of it, like, if I were a band, I'd be like, holy shit, like, thank you. Like, you have, like, not to toot our own horn, we have kind of a following now.
We have a bit of a following.
And if we're able to direct 5-6 people to go check this band out, like, they're nothing short of, like, thank you.
If anyone's ever been to a local show, and, like, if every one of those bands brought 5 or 6 people, besides, like, the normal, like, you know, family, friends, and stuff, if everyone bought 5 or 6 people, that would be a packed show.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, the numbers, to anyone maybe thinking large, maybe the 6 doesn't seem like a lot, but that's actually a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
Well,
inside the scene.
and like, I would rather have 20 people at my show that fuck with my music than 20
Yes.
people that are just like, okay. Or not even 20, like 100 people that were just like, okay,
Just
whatever.
like, when's this band over?
Like people, like, I have played shows went to Richmond, Virginia last year, played to 2 people, and 1 person came for us. Now, it was finals week. There was a very big show happening in town. There was a lot of factors. Okay.
But if they wanted to, they would.
But if they wanted to, they would. My whole point, though, is that 1 person came, and they made it so worth it. They rocked out to every song. They didn't give a shit that there was no one there.
Yeah.
They, like, I talked to them in depth afterwards, and, like, they made it seem like it was such an honor to do it, which is just like, I'm just a fucking DIY band, like, touring in Richmond, fucking Virginia. like, what the fuck, dude? Like, anyways, it's just, those people that care to come see you are the people that I want to play to,
Yep.
and I want to play to people that don't know me as well, and I want to fucking convince them. I want to be like, fucking, I want to show you how hard I rock, and at the same time, I don't care if you don't like my band, but I want you to at least hear it. Give me a chance.
Yeah, for real, that's it.
Give
Just,
me
like,
a chance to show you. If you don't like it, fair. If you do, I feel so blessed to just, and even if they don't like it, I feel blessed that I had 1 other person hear it. So that's all I care about.
So I know you kind of mentioned your, I'd say, almost like long-term plans and goals for Tumbling Rock being like this, pretty much like this media conglomerate in the Twin Cities of just having, like, you know, you could have bookers, you could have other podcasters or any other media stuff inside of Tumbling Rock.
Yeah.
On a short-term, I guess, goal, like, since we're coming up on 1 year, like, what's the goal for next year? In, like,
shit, I don't
in
think
this
that
in this
far
first
ahead,
year,
man.
you've already accomplished a lot between doing, you know, the zine itself, the podcast, the recording, bringing in Katie to add this whole other element to the zine. Like, any goals that you want to accomplish for the next year?
I mean, so...
Keep it alive, first of all.
Yeah, keep it going.
Stay relevant.
I
Diversify, maybe.
Yeah,
a little bit. You know, like, go outside. I think we, like, you know, I think you know, the zine itself, I think I don't know, would you say it went towards more like of a harder kind of like harder bands
Right
I
now,
just
like
would like to cover
but the thing is
more
what I was gonna
bases.
say is like, you know, we got
Yeah.
Keep for Cheap, got
Yeah.
Kiernan, like
Yeah.
there it's going outside of, you know, like encapsulating all genres.
Mhm.
Yeah, we could do a better job of maybe like diversifying it, but I wanted to say like the way we do it in the first place.
No, it is,
Oh,
and
yeah,
not
yeah.
a dig at my
know. No,
publication.
but I agree with you.
The baseline to being in the zine is you ask. That's it. Like
Right.
you just
Yeah,
say,
contact
hey,
form
can
on
I
our
be in
website.
there?
Oh
So
yeah, no, we're not picky. We're not like no.
We've
Yeah,
only
exactly.
had to like
There's
turn away one
one
person,
person.
and it was because
Just legality.
The legality is that you can't steal music, man.
Yeah,
Oh.
like you can't release stolen music and have us like cover you. Like you
yeah,
can't do
it's-
that.
I'm not gonna write a magazine article about the song that you like outrightly admitted that you
They
stole.
said they stole it. Like it's
Jesus.
yeah. So I was
Yeah.
like, well, you
Yeah, that makes sense.
Other
Yeah,
than
fuck
that, if you're not like obviously a piece of shit according to your Instagram, then sure, why not?
right.
But the-
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's something to be said about the way that we're doing it is like, again, giving platforms to bands
Mhm.
that deserve a platform that don't have one.
Mhm.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, we want to add those like bands that like, you know, Keep for Cheap. Obviously, got a following in the cities. They're
Yeah.
killing it. They're doing the damn thing. And at the same time, there's bands that reach out to us and they want us to cover it
yeah.
because they want to be, you know, they want to be put out there
Mhm.
and they deserve it. And
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's like, I think,
Like Far Far Away, for example. Shout out Far Far
Far
Away.
Far Away song. Yeah.
They're just that classic Warped Tour pop punk sound, and a lot of bands. I would say probably every band we've covered, I've never heard of before. But Far Far Away, for example, is just like they're that band that if they had enough people listening to them, they could go forever. Like they just have that material for it, and there's so many fucking bands
There's a lot of
around
bands
here
like
that
that.
have that
Yeah.
same like just spark, I guess you could call
well,
it.
and what I love about this is like you highlight other zines.
Yeah.
Like you, like
We're not gonna
Muse
shit on
Mag.
other. Yeah, we're not
Right,
gonna-
like it's so inclusive, which is what like I think that's like the whole premise behind Tumbling Rock is the inclusivity
Mhm.
about it, which is what made me want to join the team. I mean, I love these two like to death, but outside of that, it's just like I love what they stand for. I love what we stand for. I love giving the platform. I love giving the recognition. And again, it's anyone out there. We're not limited to who, like, we're not just
Literally,
like rock bands. We're
no.
not just
No,
indie
no,
bands.
no.
We're,
TumblingRockZine.com, contact form, fill that shit out.
yeah, literally.
Doesn't matter if you've released every song under the fucking sun or if you've never
The
released
genre
Release
doesn't
anything.
matter.
Yeah.
it
If
doesn't
you're
matter.
you haven't played a show and you're playing your first show, like hit us up. We would
yeah,
love
we'll
to come
promo the fuck out of it.
promo the literal fuck out of
Sorry,
it.
I mean, you're in the zine.
Hell yeah,
like
Danny.
the zine is
Thank you.
distributed throughout multiple venues, you know.
Right.
So like anyone who goes in, like my ideal thing. So like, what I hope happens is we have a release
whoa,
date.
whoa.
It's typically maybe mid-month. Maybe we might change that in the future
It's like 5%.
for the zine. Hold on, it's 5%.
Is that a lot?
I don't
No.
know. I have 6%. We're good. I'm feeling
Okay.
a little bit, to be honest.
Wait, is that alcoholic monster?
Yeah, do you want to try? You don't have to if you don't want
Fuck
to.
no. Like
Okay.
I love you, but like
Yeah, I know. I give it
Attacked.
shit too.
There's
Dude.
Hard Mountain Dew over there. It's our
here's the
host.
thing. I've had like 300 milligrams of caffeine because I'm an actual monster.
I had a
today.
monster today too.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
a
hey,
monster.
hey.
I am a.
Look, that's you.
I'm a ghoul.
Oh, I forgot what I was talking about.
You're talking about possible release dates, how it might change, and then I don't know where you. I don't know because basically you were saying the application form is online. Anyone
Oh,
can,
yes,
can,
yes.
can apply.
yeah.
The door, the like bare minimum.
We
is
don't
You just
discriminate.
I
We
remember.
don't turn people away.
Yes, my ideal circumstance for what would happen with the zine is like we have a release date. What we want is for people to go in person, pick it up because we're physical only. We don't do digital.
Right.
So you go
Unless
and you
you
pick
pay
it
for
up.
that
And
shit.
yeah, unless you pay for it. For
That's,
shipping and
that's
stuff.
Patreon exclusive.
But we don't. To be very clear about that too, we don't make money off of the Patreon.
Oh God,
It's
no.
literally the production and shipping costs.
Tumbling Rock is a money pit.
Yeah, I don't know how we make money on this.
We
Weird.
don't.
I should welcome you to the Beers Advance podcast. It's the same way.
Well,
it's
that's
same
the
way.
thing. It's just like, dude, I don't like I do make money off of my photography. It
Oh,
goes
sure.
right back into it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I have never I've paid like $100 bill one time, and that was it. All of the money I've ever made goes back into what I do. Back
exactly.
into what I love.
Every penny we make off of Tumbling Rock, it goes directly into the printing costs, the production of everything.
I will reiterate, that situation has not come up. We have not made money on Tumbling Rock.
Oh no, we're probably in hundreds of dollars at this point.
Hundreds? Okay. Anyway,
thousands maybe.
It's an upper echelon. But
sugar mommy.
I want people. I want them to go to the stores to pick them up, and then also like participate in the store. So like Clash Coffee. You know, if you go there picking up a zine, maybe you get a coffee on your way there, or rather while you're there. And that's
just
supporting local business.
Right.
That's literally the idea. Is to like
Giving
our drop
back.
points are just places for people to also be a patron, and that's what we hope for. So not only are you being a patron of the place you're picking it up at, but you're also, ideally, looking through the zine and discovering and finding new bands to become your favorite band. And if we can make one person, like King Size Coffin is the best example because there's a comment of it. And, we got them that one fan, and that one fan might attend their show, and that one fan that's attending their show might bring some friends and family along with them. And that's how you build up a scene.
Right.
Because I know Popeye, I know the crew, but I didn't know,
the genre of music.
Yeah, I just wasn't familiar with what their other bands were doing. Because honestly, it's kind of impossible to know every band in the city.
Yeah.
In the
we're
scene.
sure as hell trying, but
we're trying.
The more we learn, the less it's like, oh shit, I didn't even realize.
Doing this for nearly a year, I'm still hearing about bands that I've just never heard of before.
Right.
And then there's people out of state contacting us too, looking for promo in that regard. And we do try to feature some out of state content as well.
Yeah, I think on one of the most recent zines, I think there was someone on there from like New York.
Ryder from New York.
Ryder from New York. Yeah, it's just like, I don't even know how the hell you heard of us, but sure.
Yeah, but they're on.
Exactly. It's literally, he asked, like, cool.
Yeah.
You make music? Cool. You're in.
It's just about uplifting like local talent and local music. Because I imagine a situation where we were the difference between a band continuing and breaking up. Like, oh, we were in this, we mean something. Versus they are doing something that is quality. They're putting out good content, but maybe they're just not getting the listeners they would have liked, and so that's a catalyst of breaking up. What's the stat? Like most bands break up, they don't
Statistically speaking, most bands don't fail, they break up.
Yeah, and that's like depressing because there's some great music. I was musicians, but music. There's great talent out there that just could go undiscovered because people are going to click on their Instagram, see 1 follower, 50 followers, 100 followers, and just put them to the wayside because they don't care about it.
Well, that's the horrible thing, too, about social media. It can be a great tool, and at the same time, people can be like, oh, you only have 400 followers?
Yeah. Make you very dismissive.
Like, we don't want to play with y'all. Y'all won't pull. You won't... Like, fuck that.
Yeah, if the music's good, it's good.
If you think a band is cool, and they put out good music, does not matter how many followers they have, play with them. Put them on the map. And support them.
Just give them a chance.
Yeah.
Give them a fucking chance. That's all you can do. And I think that's the beautiful thing about music. I really do.
Like, you can discover every single day. And so
I think,
we're helping that.
A really big thing is, like, even talking now is, like, 2 big themes that I see is one, like, about the zine Tumbling Rock is discovery and inclusivity. Those are the 2 main things that we want to promote.
Yeah.
And that we stand by.
Yeah, another thing is, like, sometimes bands just are, like, a blip in the map. Like, they're there and they're gone. And the only memory, like, shout out to Undercurrent, the only memory of them is a zine, a video, like, a piece of merch item. Because sometimes people just don't have the means of making their music publicly available on streaming services because that shit's expensive.
And, like, one thing, okay, for example... Last year, I got to photograph the band Lapdogs.
Oh, fuck.
It was their I mean, I don't know, Lapdogs, if you played any other shows, I don't fucking know of it, but that was the last show that I've ever seen them play. Fucking play a show, motherfuckers. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, I discovered that band, I went to their, like, well, I played that show, but, like, I photographed them, and it was like, holy fuck, this band is incredible. Like, this is insane. And haven't played a show since. And it's just like, it's one of those things where it's like, I gotta say, had to be there. and I savored that moment, and it's like I'm just waiting for the next moment and the next time because it's like I fell in love with them.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
We're covering an undercurrent in our next issue, and we did an interview with
Love undercurrents.
It's gravy, right? I'm not like
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know if there was an accent.
Gravy.
Gravy. But yeah, Gravy started because he got the cutting edge technology at the time, the iPhone 4S.
Oh shit.
Hell yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
He recorded a band, but before the set went on, the band told him that this is their one of their last shows. They're breaking up soon. So he recorded that and he's like, what do I do with this content now? And then that's the catalyst for Undercurrent.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Now they have 21.4 million.
Yeah.
Or
Not million.
Whoa. Hold on.
1,000. Okay, maybe I should put them away. No, I'm just kidding. But like
Put her off.
they have like 21.4 thousand followers on Instagram.
They have a lot.
over like
Yeah.
8,000 videos.
84,000.
What?
84,000.
84,000.
Not
Okay.
84,000. It's
Oh,
8,400.
8,400.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still.
Okay, so we're
Still.
so
Still a lot,
we
yeah.
we're on this.
Yeah.
we got
We're
it.
husband.
Yeah, with husband. Jesus Christ.
Well,
I'm
it's
just gonna take these.
Undercurrents is literally like they like the basketball divorce court story the other day, and I was like, no fucking.
Oh my
They
god,
saw my
yeah.
story, no
They
way.
fucking
And
plugged us, dude.
They plugged us
I've-
out of nowhere.
yes,
It was like one random. It was like a Chris Bottom day. No,
it was a Chris Bottom day.
some
and-
random day. It was just like Undercurrent tagged us in a post.
Yeah, they just
What?
posted it. On
They
us.
know who
That's
we
awesome.
are.
And it's crazy, like, every time, like, my band performs, I'm like, please, God, someone from the Undercurrents come to the show. Or, like, whenever, or it's, like, show day, and you're just like, God, please, I hope the Undercurrents post
That's
our show.
that's another thing is like I'll go to shows and I'll like between sets I'll be on Instagram. He's here. Where is he?
Yeah.
No, like,
yeah.
seriously, though, like, so there will be some nights where I have nothing to do, and I wait for the Undercurrents to post in the morning of what shows are going on that night so I can go to one.
Mhm.
And that's how, like, I think that is the literal pillar of community.
Yeah.
That they are so, like, I could not say enough good things about them. They are...
They're not asking for nothing. They're just like, I'm going to the show.
Yep.
If you want to be there, cool.
There's multiple people that are involved, and they all just want the scene to be known.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they want to showcase bands. So many bands I've found out from the Undercurrents.
We again just bringing it back is like that's the main thing of why people don't go to local shows. They just
They
don't
don't
know
know.
anyone.
They don't
know.
And it's
Yep.
like you follow Undercurrent, you follow Tumbling Rock. Here's so many like hundreds of bands that you can look
I
at.
think
Yep.
the primary difference is physicality.
Yep.
Like, you can accidentally stumble upon Tumbling Rock in the wild. Like, you can be in line for coffee and then see the magazine on the shelf, pick that
Yeah.
up, and learn.
Right.
And that's what we want. That is paramount to how we operate.
And I think it's very interesting. Print media, seldom these days.
Yeah.
And
It's coming back.
it
coming
is
back.
coming back.
back.
It is coming back. It is coming back. And that is very, like, that is, like, such a beautiful thing that's happening because I think it was so lost. Like, for instance, we make tapes. My band makes tapes.
Hell yeah.
Exactly. And they're more of, like, I have found out a collectible item for a lot of people. And
That's exactly it. Is like,
Yeah.
unfortunately, with our last band, is like as easily as things can be uploaded to the internet, they can be taken down. Like,
yeah, so, like, that's why we don't make CDs, because they're not as, like, a, like, collectible thing. And also, like, for instance, my fucking 2019 car doesn't have a CD player,
Oh my god.
let alone a tape,
Yeah.
whatever, because
player.
I could, yeah, whatever. With
Cut her
yes,
off.
The
Jesus
C
Christ.
thing.
Jesus Christ. But, like,
Oh my god.
oh my god. And so, it's just, it's almost like you have to be in touch
Yeah.
of what's
Yeah.
going on. Like, you know, but at the same time, with print media, fucking it is coming back, but it's still outside of the box, in my personal opinion. Like,
Yeah, we're just fortunate enough where I like am able to just do it
Yeah.
through my work.
honestly,
Yeah.
honestly.
Had I
yeah.
not like struck a deal with my, I'm kind of like just paying for the paper because like that's it.
Right.
Yeah, we're really fortunate.
The
for
cost of the
production costs.
magazine is just like how many pieces of paper are you using? Sweet, I'll charge you for that. Like I'm not paying for like the shipment of it and blah 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 blah, like all the other things that are added to it.
But we are fortunate enough to have, like, the expertise in what we do. So, like, graphic design, photography. I dabbled in writing. I don't do writing professionally, but I do it for Tumbling Rock.
Now you do.
Right.
Yeah, and I've learned a lot.
Well, that's the thing, though. Like, you can learn as you go as well, and you can progress as, like, a writer and be like, holy fuck, I like doing this. Like, this is crazy.
I bet you if you have, like, one of the first issues of Tumbling Rock, I bet you it's full of spelling errors.
Holy
I'm
shit.
sure there's, like, it's formatted weird, it's not grammatically correct.
Watching progress, though, like, I'll tell you what, I looked at, like, for instance... Gonna plug sorry Logan, my first grandma show I ever shot at the Fine Line.
Sorry Logan.
Sorry Logan, I'm gonna call you out.
Your band real quick.
I shot photos of Logan grandma at the Fine Line September 2023. Those photos looked like motherfucking shit. Like, they looked so bad. And I was like, this is the greatest photo I've ever taken in my life. And then I just took photos of them December 2024. Whew! My new camera, new setup, everything I've learned since then, the progress. I love those shitty photos. I love seeing those shitty photos because it's just like... bitch, like, you thought. Like, it's great. It's, like I said, it's great to have those, like, you know, beginner styles.
Well, yeah, if you go from, like, show to show, you're not going to see much progress, but we have, like, every issue, and I look back at the first one, and I was like, this is, like, 2 pages, and it's
well, that's
shit.
the thing.
Like, this is shit. This is what we started
and
with.
now it's, like, getting thicker and thicker. It's getting thicker and thicker.
We're getting close to that point
it.
where we might need to be, like, growing a little, because, I'm going to nerd out here for a minute. So the way that graphic design works is, with a magazine, you can't add just, like, here's a page. Yeah. You have to add, it has to be divisible by 4. So it's a giant piece of paper that you fold in half, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4.
Right.
And I can't just add, like, I can't make a 17-page zine. I have to make a 16 or a 20-page. And so we're kind of getting to that point. Right now we're at 16-page, but we could probably go up to a 20-page.
If you saw our queue, we had to start doing it in Google Drive, or not Google Drive, but like tabs and stuff for like waiting to respond, which issue potentially. Oh, yeah. Like it's a huge.
Well,
list.
yeah, because we get that initial email of someone filled out the contact form, and then we send an email being like, "How serious are you?" A lot of the times they're not serious enough to respond to that. Sometimes we'll get a response back, and then that's when we are like, "Here are the questions for the magazine. Answer these," and then still there are some people that just don't answer it.
Wow.
And then the way it works is it's first come first serve. You answered the questions first, great, you're next in line for the magazine.
If we have like too much, we'll try to theme it a little bit, like what complements this magazine versus what complements the next issue.
Right.
But generally, it's first come first serve. If you did it first, you're gonna get in first.
And that's something I was wondering about too a little earlier. Is like, you know, if people are reaching out to you, like, if they're trying to be next in line, like, how early should they reach out to you saying, like, hey, we have an EP coming out in June. We want to come on the...
As soon as you can.
That's a great question, though. So, there's a couple things that are different. We do... we've recently expanded into, like, music reviews, EP, single reviews. Mm-hmm. So, if you're looking for a review, like, simply a review for the song or the EP, your odds of getting in earlier are higher.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of people who have done that yet.
Right.
Now, with that said, we only do like 2 per issue versus like 5 or some bands per issue. So once that clogs up, then it's what it is.
Yeah. It very much depends just on what you are looking for in the issue.
But for the bands, if they want to get in for a review for the band,
we're probably looking like your 2-3 issues out.
I was about to say like at least 2 to 3 months.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be in the November issue, you should reach out like July, September.
Yeah. Which I totally understand that.
July, September.
Shut up.
Because like
August.
I'm normally like 1 to 2 months ahead on all my recordings also. So like it's the hardest thing is when to telling a band like a band hits you up and they're like, hey, we have this EP that comes out like next week. Can we come on? I'm like, you should have hit me up
2 months ago.
3 months.
It's like no, literally when people hit me up for pictures. People hit me up for pictures. They like people who ask me like 5 days in advance. Like, literally, I'm like, respect. I appreciate it. Fuck no, there's no way I could do that unless in a fucking once in a lifetime chance that I'm actually free.
If the stars align, maybe.
If the stars align,
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go on. I was done.
No, we had a lot of people for Valentine's Day.
Well,
there
yeah,
was a lot of
everybody
Valentine's
was
Day
like
songs.
doing these surprise drops on Valentine's
Yeah.
Day, and they were like hitting us up, and it's like
was
the
like-
issue comes out on Valentine's Day. I'm not gonna review your song that comes out on Valentine's Day before it comes out.
But not
like,
even that. We already had 2 people in. So, like, we had, like, 3 more songs for Valentine's Day, and we're like, well, we can still review your Valentine's Day song in another issue, but, you know...
That's, like, when I had, like, I had a band reach out to me, again, about, like, doing my spread about their album, and, an album review and album release show.
Mm-hmm.
They hit me up about that, and the thing is, like, I had to ask them, okay, do you want the issue to be before your album release show and reviewing your album, or do you want it to be after your album release show with the review and the photos?
Right.
So it's like, do you want the review before so people can come promote it and like we can promote it, or do you want it after? So it's one of those things where it's like, seriously, you really can't hit us up like even a couple weeks before, like maybe a couple weeks, but I mean, you're cutting it close.
I think if you are like for example, I'll just shout him out, Zach Baker. He hit us up months in advance. He's like,
bless your heart, Zach.
Shout out Zach, that boy.
Bless your heart.
I love that man.
Love Zach.
He hit us up months in advance and was like, hey, my book is coming out end of January, beginning of February. It's like, cool, let's dedicate an entire issue to it. Let's review your book. Let's review... He's had a single go alongside of Brie when he released it, and it's like, cool. That is like peak planning.
Yeah.
Like, he hit us up in, November?
Yeah, so we plugged him in. We were able to just manually, like, all right, we know for sure Zach's in this issue, and that helps so much. So, like, if you know in advance, if you want to be part of Tumbling Rock.
Yeah, say you have something coming out in November, again. August. If you have something coming out and you want to be kind of like the main feature, I guess, I would say hit us up 2-3 months in advance.
Yeah, and
maybe at the point that this comes out, maybe it'll be a longer wait, but the earlier the better.
Yeah. And I think that's a good thing to put out there for, like, we're talking about a lot of up and coming bands being featured in your zine, but I also have the same with the podcast, where I think a lot of bands don't understand the marketing aspect of promoting their EPs. So the sooner you can get in touch with any sort of media to put it out there, the better.
Yeah, because if you plan it right, if you give us time to kind of plan it, we're able to do it. Like, his book came out, the magazine came out, the song came out. It was like perfectly
we knew
aligned.
in advance. We got it early copies too, so we had the time to plan.
Yeah, we were able to plan it out. So if you wait till the very last second, it's if it works out, great, but chances of it working out are very slim.
Advice for that too: have an EPK. If you have a press kit, that makes our job so much easier, because we can kind of like get your vibe. We don't have to ask really as many questions. We know.
EPK, press kit.
Yeah, EPK, electronic press kit. Basically, like,
and what does that include? Like, it includes like your socials. It includes like
our
assets. Yeah, it's as long as you just I don't know, like there's so many ways you can do a press kit, but
I would say pretend you're being interviewed and talk about your whatever you're doing. Talk about it as if you were explaining to someone who does not know who you are.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. Like, share all your music, even if you're not on like streaming services. Like, send demos, send pictures, send socials, send anything, like a press kit. That it compressed into a file.
That's another thing. I'm just gonna cut you off real quick.
No, do it.
If you're gonna be sending EPKs, you best not be sending these pixelated ass selfies. Like,
please, God,
please invest in a photographer. They're not that expensive. Like,
please hire me.
There we go.
For fuck's sake, like. Oh my God.
I feel like $50 to $100 is. Would you say that's pretty average?
Dude, I'll do it for free if you really want it.
All right.
Like, holy fuck. Like, not to sell myself short, but deadass, if we're trying to get you in an issue and everything, just fucking.
Yeah, that's another thing. Is like people like we've had a couple bands who, were I don't want to say like butthurt, but we're kind of like.
Oh.
I guess disappointed not being on the cover.
Yeah.
And it's like, listen, dog. If you send us one-word question or one-word answers, like incomplete sentences, and then like 3 like, here's the band selfies, you're not going to be on the cover. Like, you kind of have to be forward thinking of like what would look good on the cover of a magazine? What would look good in like the centerfold of a feature? Like
exactly.
Yeah, and investing in a photographer, I think, is the best thing a band can do because it makes you look badass.
I want to shout out some of the other photographers that we featured as well.
Yep.
You know, Katie as well, but there's Mosquito Meat that we featured. There's Lusters that we featured, and so like these are like, I think, community drivers and hire all three. I don't know. You can check their styles if you see the magazine.
Do. There are so many, many talented photographers in the cities.
Alice.
Yes.
Alice,
yes.
Joe Your Own Way.
His Yoshi, Artie Manor, like, literally, like, I've been fucking with that shit lately. Is so good. And so, I don't know, there's so many talented photographers in the cities that I could name right now. Sarah, if you're watching, Sarah is amazing.
You don't have to look very hard to
look
find a decent photographer.
But if you're looking, check Tumbling Rock.
But yes, if you are, and I would love in the future to feature more photographers. I think that'd 100%. Be great. You know, like, I love seeing every photographer out there doing the fucking thing.
They
talking
all
to
have
me.
so unique styles, too.
Exactly.
It's like, you go from one photographer to another, they're going to take the same shot 100 different ways.
Exactly.
It's amazing just to see
the different perspectives.
Exactly, yeah.
The perspectives of it is just like, I have gotten, it's so great. One, like, it happens sometimes at shows where I will flash at the same time as someone, and it gets me a motion effect. And at the same time, I love that because it's just like, it almost feels like it's like, you're helping me.
Team building.
My photos look very cool because of you. But at the same time, it's like, for instance, I shot a show last night. Someone came up to me and they were like, hey, like, I don't know if you remember me, but I shot the show that you were at. And like, I was too nervous to do it tonight. And I was like, don't be nervous.
Why you do that?
Don't be nervous, babe. Like, you know,
love. It's all love.
It's all love.
Yeah,
and there are people who have been like, oh, well, I knew you were going to be at the show, so I didn't do it. Fucking get in my way.
Show me
do
up.
it. Like, show me up. I don't care. Please, like, I want to see every photographer out there killing it. I want to see every photographer out there, like, loving it.
That's another thing, too, kind of going back to what you're saying about just, like, starting photography. Bands will appreciate the fuck out of it. Doesn't matter how quote unquote shitty that the picture is. And if there's someone documenting their experience, they're gonna love it no matter what the quality of the item is.
Yep.
That's true.
Did we answer the question?
I don't remember.
I have no idea what question we're on.
Question 6.
I was trying to remember. I was trying to like make a tie back, and I couldn't remember the initial.
I know. I was working on it too.
We're getting on rants.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
We have a little bit left to go.
Okay.
So one question that I think is the snowball question, or
they've all been.
We'll try to.
We'll be concise. We'll be concise.
No, snowball was the wrong one. I meant like layup question. Obviously, it's called Tumbling Rock Zine. Where's that name come from?
Take a wild guess.
Take a guess.
Oh God, this is so much pressure.
Think of a famous music magazine.
Go
ahead.
Kind of going back to it started as a joke. So
right.
What happened was we had some pictures, and I was like, what if this band was on the cover of Rolling Stone? But in terms of like the way that we kind of presented our merch is we would like quote unquote rip off stuff. So it was like, well, I can't call it Rolling Stone. What's the next best thing? Tumbling Rock.
Yeah, I just want to echo that. At the time, our band, we would do like a lot of skits kind of stuff. So we had a segment of like, now that's what you call music, and where we had like a commercial for that, but it was just our band playing songs.
Hell yeah.
We had an idea for a skit. What was it, like next to one tree? Between two ferns.
Yeah, next to a tree. Or
Dude,
something.
that fucking book killed me. Do not like between two ferns. That killed me as a 4th grader.
Jesus
the
Christ.
funny thing is, I think maybe like 6 weeks ago, I figured out that Tumbling Rock.
Are you? No, that's it. It's like a lot of people don't put it together until I tell that story of like, well,
no, literally, I didn't. I was like, oh, it looks like Rolling Stone did not put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah,
straight up did not put 2 and 2 together.
So we're fortunate enough that people don't recognize that, but it kind of has its own meaning. The rock keeps tumbling.
Right.
Things keep happening. Kick the rock along.
No, but it's perfect. It is the perfect name.
I love it.
Yeah,
and if
we've
we ever
tossed
get
around different ideas. Yeah, we also said if we ever get like a cease and desist, that's gonna be
It'll
the
be the
cover of our next.
Oh,
the
hell
cover
yeah.
issue.
It's gotta be, yeah.
Yeah.
we'll change it to
We'll just make it. We'll just make the whole
TRZ or
thing
something.
cease and
TRZ,
desist.
yeah.
We'll just make the zine called cease and desist.
There we go.
Ooh,
Yeah.
there you go.
There's a lot. There's so many names we could come up with.
Next
Yeah.
question.
Next question. All right, we're rolling.
But
sorry.
I also was
I'm
like
sorry.
Katie.
Are we rocking?
We're tumbling. We're tumbling.
We're tumbling.
For sure. But I also was like Katie, where like I feel like I stared at the title of the
I don't
name
know
of
why
the zine
this
for a
looks
while.
familiar.
Yeah, and I
No,
was like,
literally, I was just
trying
like,
to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Rolling Stone. Yeah, it looks. Did not put two and two together
Yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
Which is good. Like, hopefully Rolling Stone doesn't come for
But
us.
we haven't made
No,
mine.
but it
We're
would be
gonna come
kind
after.
of
Right,
badass.
exactly. Well,
It
that
would
was
be
like
kinda
that was like the big thing in like early 2000s, mid 2000s, where like all these bands were just like they would have like I remember Seaway had like Emma Stone on their shirt. Charlie Siren had Charlie Sheen on their shirt. Like just ripping off all these big brands, and it's
Yeah.
like. I think the rule was like as long as you make underneath like $1,000,
It's some shit like that.
like you can get away with it because there's no point in them like doing a cease and
For
desist.
Yeah,
damages.
it's like, what are you
or
gonna
anything.
do? We're not claiming to be them. We're not
Right.
trying to be affiliated
And
with
we've made
them.
no money off of
We've
it.
made.
Yeah.
We're in
We're
money
negative
at this
money.
point. Yeah, it's like if we are on Rolling Stone's radar, I'm flattered. Like, cool.
Yeah, that's crazy. If that lands on the desk of Rolling Stone,
That's
like,
what I was-
okay,
yeah.
holy shit.
Dude, I sent so I got stickers that look like Colt 45 40s.
Tuesday,
And I sent those to Colt 45 for Christmas. No response, but I still sent it to him to be like, "What's up? It's not just you." But anyways,
They send you a cease and desist.
that would have been
back.
I was
sick.
thinking
I would have been down with
I was
that.
like, stop this immediately.
Don't do this ever again.
Just roll it up.
No, but that was like
self-reporting.
how
Yeah.
our merch went was I would like I'm very artistic if you could not tell. I would like I drew us as like Pokemon characters and I
Yeah.
made fake Pokemon cards.
Magic cards.
We made magic cards. We made Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and it was like a zine's not far off from that.
Yeah, we were just always
we're
playing
Rolling
around.
Stone, but no, that was what sparked the name, and
Yeah.
I really like the name. We've changed the font. It's not
We have
it's
changed
not
the
the
font.
same. So I hope we've changed enough. And again, like a lot of people don't put two and two together unless we tell them.
Right.
So
I mean, I fucking
or
didn't.
you know, this is another idea that you guys could take is for each. I don't know. This might be a lot of work. Each like zine, you just change the font style to make fun of a different magazine.
Oh my god.
I've thought
That's
of
not
that,
that's not bad.
and it's not bad until you look into the amount of digging you have to find to get a fucking similar font.
Oh
like,
yeah.
just from a graphic design standpoint, like I do this as my day job. So if someone they want this font, but in suitcase for all those nerds. If I don't have that in my suitcase, I have to go into the internet, and I have to Google this font free, this font trial, blah 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 trial. Like let me get like something
Download
similar.
it.
What's a similar font, and then I have to download it, and I probably have hella viruses at this
There's
point.
also recognition though, like being able to spot a TRZ from like across the room, like that's Tumbling Rock. It gets difficult if you keep changing the font.
True.
Yeah.
But I do like the idea, and that'd be fun. Like
I think
alt cover stuff.
if we
Yeah.
change the font but we keep the color scheme the same, like again that's
Dude, but it's
another
like
cover.
the boldness of it.
Yeah.
Like, I went to Pillar Forum, right? I went to Pillar Forum
Oh, yeah, you
this
went to Pillar
weekend.
Forum?
Yes, I did, and I saw the zine, and I was like, instantly.
Oh, I have a present for you in the car, by the way.
What's our belly?
Let's talk about it later.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Follow us.
But like,
It's not a gun.
It's literally, I saw Zach Baker's face just right on there, and I was like, instantly, I was like, oh, Tumbling Rock. I mean, like, of course, like,
Yeah,
that's-
whatever.
I
But
don't
like,
even know like what the
it was
font name
big
is at this
and
point.
bold.
There you go.
It was big
Oh,
and
thank
bold.
That's for you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it was
it's
like,
folded.
It's okay.
it's
Here's
just like,
another one. There you go.
Sick.
it's just like, it's so big and bold.
Well, yeah,
and
it's just like the drop shadow. Honestly, drop shadows are coming back. Like again,
back
I'm
drop
gonna
shadows.
nerd out for a minute. Drop shadows
it.
were a thing like in
Do it.
2008, and
I love Y2K. I think everyone should go back to Y2K and flare jeans. I'm bringing those
Oh.
back.
Bitch, do you know
I'm
how
bringing.
much- Oh my god.
I'm bringing back flared jeans. Okay.
Stop her.
That's all you, by the way. It's just
It's
Katie.
all me. It's all
It
me.
stays in
All
Katie's
right.
corner.
This is
So,
what we said. Oh my
music
god,
and
yes.
zine. So, all right. What was the question?
Yeah, that's a good question. What was the
we
question?
were talking about font and like,
Oh,
Yes.
the connection.
Okay.
Yes.
So
I think the
like
font's called Miss Shepherd, but I could be mistaken.
No,
But the
everyone
thing
out there.
is like, it's the similar but different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Because
like,
everyone.
it's a local zine. It's local. So
Right.
it's like, you know, yes, it has that aspect of Tumbling Rock and the influence of it, and at the same time, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different. It's unique. It's like versed in the local community. Mwah, chef kiss. And yes, I speak with my hands.
That's okay.
It's same.
I speak with my hands. And it's yeah, that's all I have to say.
You start hitting it.
Steer us in the right direction.
Yeah.
We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, please,
I know.
Sarah, please.
So as we start to wind down.
Yes, okay,
here,
winding down.
you
Thank
know,
No.
Bust out the
We-
blunt.
I'm sad.
We'll do another one of these when
We need to.
when like the 2-year anniversary hits.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
we'll always feel free to come back.
With the 8 other people that'll be here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do
Yes.
like a bigger couch, or we'll have to do it in the other room.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Auditorium.
Oh yeah, we'll rent out the US Bank
This camera,
Stadium.
this
Yeah,
camera,
yeah.
this camera.
God, that's so much editing. It's already freaking me out. But I always like to end off these episodes on like a high note. I know we've just been having a great time doing all of our Tumbling Rock tangents and stuff like that. But what has been your favorite moment you've experienced so far since starting Tumbling Rock?
Getting asked to join. I have had very
Katie
exciting
joining.
moments. I have had, and that's not to like put down any other exciting moment that I've had, but like when I got that initial message that asked me to join, like I don't even know where Logan, my boyfriend, I don't know where he was, but I was like, ah! Like I screamed. I was so
Don't
fucking
say that
excited.
shit.
I
It's
was.
gonna go to my head. Don't
It
do
should.
that. Don't do that.
It should go to your head because like I have loved working with them, and it has made it comes full circle. It really does come full circle for me, and that has been the most amazing part of this experience.
I think the photo you took was the cover of the first one.
And literally,
Oh, yeah, it was.
yeah, and it again comes full circle
Yep.
of like, you know, I was a little scared, like, am I too busy for this? Am I too, you know, like, I do live a very busy life, and at the same time, it's just, like...
She be taking pictures.
Playing music.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, my God.
And
But, like...
working.
But, like, in all reality, it's, like, when I talk about, like, what are my priorities in life, like, I have, like, my job, my music, my family, and Tumbling Rock. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, I have my priorities, and unless, like, something, like, severely gets in the way, like, I want to be there. And that has honestly been the highlight of just getting asked to join, let alone contributing, has been the most, like, fulfilling and extremely amazing experience for me.
On the flip side of that, it's like, do you think she'll join? Like,
No.
I remember
Yeah, I
we
remember
were talking,
that.
it's
I
like,
remember that.
should we ask Katie? Like, do you think Katie will join?
That was a
Well,
long
besides
conversation.
Katie joining the group, I think probably just seeing the initial reaction, because, again, it started, I was bored at work one day, and I was like, haha, what if we were on the cover of Rolling Stone? And just, like, seeing the appreciation that bands give. I remember it was issue 3 was the one that, we were supposed to be on this bill. It was, like, Good Trouble and halfway down, and, like, it was a stacked bill, and we unfortunately had to drop off of it. But, like, going to, like, see them and being like, hey, sorry we couldn't make the bill, here's a stack of magazines, and they're like, oh my god, this is so cool. And just like seeing the comments, like I think it was someone from Cretan Avenue Hop was like, they commented on our first magazine and was like, hey, I have one of these. It was like, you have one of 10 things, like Jesus
They
Christ.
came to us in person.
Yeah, and then like talking with Clash, and they're like, yeah, there's some random dude who comes in as soon as you make that story post that you drop the magazines, he comes in and grabs like 4 of them. I'm like, Jesus,
Oh my
I didn't
God.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't really understand the impact that it has until I'm like talking with these people. I'm like, oh my god, like we're making a difference. Because
Right.
again, just being
You are. We are.
Who are you?
Yeah.
This bitch. She followed
This
us in here.
bitch.
But it's just like seeing the impact and being on the flip side, if somebody came to us and being in a band and was like, hey, can we put you in our magazine? I would go like apeshit. It was like, yeah, you can put us in the magazine. Like, what do you need from us? And I don't know. it's all been very rewarding in the end. As much stress as I put on myself, as much like sleepless nights of like I have to make this look pretty, like it's just been very rewarding overall. Like I don't really know, I can't really pick out like
the question was
one point.
Our most like rewarding moment, was it?
Or like your favorite moment that you experienced.
I mean,
we're hoping for press passes.
Oh, press passes would be cool for but
for all three of us.
I think
at least you. You'll be able to do something with it.
I'm trying to think of the most like rewarding or like meaningful moment. I don't know.
Remember that comment?
Yeah, the comment's huge for me. But I mean, like, I think in general, like the
Having
whole
a hater.
view of it. Yeah,
That
that's a highlight. I really enjoy just knowing that people appreciate it, because like, you're good. There's some people who like,
tank, don't worry.
They don't fully. There are people out there who don't have that influence, and like I remember having no followers when we were in our old band, and even now we're starting a new band, and it's like we don't really have like any of that momentum right now. But if there were to be someone who would be willing to give me that chance to let me speak my piece, to let others hear our music that's bigger than me, maybe it gives my music that jumpstart that it needs to be heard.
Right.
And again, this supersedes music. This goes into like, any kind of form of art with novelists. We did a food truck. With
I wouldn't call Nordic dogs.
Yeah, Nordic hot dogs. Shout out Nordic hot dogs. Like I love the idea that even if it's one person, that's one more person that would have discovered something that maybe wouldn't have before. Mm-hmm. One fan matters, and if you're to that point where you're saying one fan doesn't matter, fuck you. I have no problem saying that. Like, one fan matters. The people who care about you matter so much.
Well, and it's like...
That's what I said. Yeah. Playing to one person in Richmond, Virginia who fucking liked us. That's all that I cared about. I was so down. I was like, no one's here. And the one person got so nervous to talk to me.
Yeah.
To me? Like, that's fucking crazy.
That's another thing. Oh my god, we went to your show. It was at Como.
Yes.
You were on the bill with Blue Driver, and... we were featured on the podcast, and it was like we went up to them and we're like, hey, we're Tumbling Rock. Oh my god, you're Tumbling Rock.
Yeah, they stood up and like,
chill, like you don't need to do that.
Yeah, you're good. Right? I'm just letting you know, like we appreciate you.
Like, hey, we've been chatting.
But still, like,
but still,
please.
But no, to cap it all off, basically, like I really enjoy like people having that moment that maybe they wouldn't have had before, or if they've had similar moments, just giving them more of that. It's all genuine.
Giving a platform.
Exactly.
Genuinely giving that platform. Like maybe they're even bigger than us. Maybe
and giving back.
More than us.
Giving back. They give to the community just as much as we want to give them the community.
It's legitimately
give them back to the community.
Like the whole mission statement is like there's so many people that do so much for this community without asking for anything in return, and it's like, well, this is your return.
Exactly.
Like we're giving you that spotlight.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate enough to kind of have a following now where if we say check out this band, enough people are going to go check out this band where it's going to make an impact on them. And I think that's really special.
Now to pose a question over to your side, is there any one burning question that you're looking for?
Putting you on the spot.
I don't think so. I think I hit most of the
you
ones
hit a lot. You hit a lot.
You got us
we said a lot.
Yeah.
We did say
the alcohol does help with that too.
Is that the trick?
It loosens everyone up. That's the nice
thing. You have to pee.
Well,
that too.
That too.
Same.
You have to break
my
the seal. I call first.
We can all pee together.
I was about to say we got to the bathroom together.
Across the stream.
Anyways, I'm sorry.
Before this gets weird.
Sorry, I forgot.
I forgot you were here.
Yeah, sorry. But no, like I feel like I hit everything I wanted to know at this point in time. Like I said, hopefully we do another one of these in the future.
We're growing. We're ever growing.
You're more than welcome to come back anytime. Like it's always nice to finally get to sit down with like another, not necessarily podcast, but like other like media outlet in the Twin Cities. Like I've been meaning to do one with Ear Coffee for a while. Like just timing hasn't worked out.
Ear Coffee's dope.
And then I know that there's Melodic Noise.
Newsmag, Undercurrent. There's so many.
But I'm happy to finally have one off the list of like that we got to do something together. Like seeing the growth from the last year, like when I first started seeing posts, and then like okay, like what's going on with this? Then seeing my friends get featured, and then like keep seeing it growing and growing, and like it's really cool to see.
Yeah,
trust me,
I'm really stoked.
Yeah, the same of like
living it is weird.
Living it's weird, and then like switching from just for example like the Tumbling Rock Instagram to my personal Instagram. It's like Tumbling Rock. Especially on, like, release days, I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're actually, like, we're not nothing anymore.
Going to the point, we've been at shows and people have come up to us and, like, shook our hands and be like, thank you for what
That's
you do.
true,
I'm like,
yeah.
what?
Mikey
I'm just here
Banana,
to watch.
shout out.
Yeah, shout out Mikey Banana. That happens, like, at Zora Darling.
Yeah, it was at Zora Darling, like, it was our current band, Maelstrom in the Harbor. We have nothing out, don't look for us. But, we, like, went to go see Far, Far Away again. We went to go see their show, and we got to see stacked bill. Everyone was amazing, and the lead singer, Mikey Banana, came up, and he, like, recognized us and shook our hand. I was like, this feels very formal. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm so glad to see you, but, like, bro, like, that's what
we're homies. Like, yeah, we're just normal people.
Yeah.
We just, we like giving back to the community.
I guess I'm glad that people kind of assume, like, we're gonna be, like, these very, like, professional corporate people, but it's like,
after this,
dog, let's go get a beer. Come on.
We're chill.
Yeah.
We're very chill.
This is the expose.
This is it. Like, this is Tumbling Rock. Like, we're all kind of tipsy on this couch.
Yeah.
I humanized you in this episode.
There we go. Yes,
we're here. We're queer. We like to drink beer.
And I also actually started
queer?
I don't know.
going at the end of
fine.
this. But
This is my girlfriend.
Yes.
This is my girlfriend.
This is my
We're a throuple.
We're a throuple.
We're actually a throuple.
We're
Sorry,
a throuple.
Logan.
Sorry,
We get
Logan.
on
He's
the
out.
weekends.
He's
we can't
out
make it
this.
weird. We can't make it weird.
I'm making it weird.
We're gonna pee together.
I want to make it weird.
We are gonna go pee together after this.
We are going to, yes.
Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit.
We're Tumbling Rock. Thanks for hanging out.
Yes, we're
thanks.
Tumbling Rock. We love people.
If anyone's looking for Tumbling Rock, you know, the zine or online, like, where can they find it?
TumblingRockZine.com. You can find us at Clash, Pillar, Cadence, Underground, and then we're partnered with North Star Original Review. They kind of bounce around between Bigwood and Ziggy's, and then I can't think of it. It starts with an M.
What?
Midway Saloon.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, if you want to just, like, have one sent to you, we have our Patreon, which you can do a monthly subscription, or you can just buy one off on TumblingRockZine.com.
Yeah, we started doing one off, just like if you, like, we understand that sometimes family is not in the area. So we charge, it's $2 for the magazine, $5 for shipping. And literally,
that covers
right,
the production and shipping.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
If anything, we maybe make a penny off of it.
At most, yeah. Because sometimes it costs more to ship it than it is the $5.
Yep.
But yeah, if you're not in the area and you can't pick up anything locally, TumblingRockZine.com and the merch section, we have magazines for pre-order and then for
the previous
sale.
Scene, yeah.
But then
we're thinking about doing pop-ups at some stuff.
Yeah, pop-ups occasionally as well.
So it would probably just be the most recent issue.
So be on our Instagram.
Yeah, stay active.
Yes.
Yeah, because we'll let you know.
And then I know we talked about it, Mayhem. What are those dates again?
We're looking at May 15th, 16th, and 17th. That's going to be a
15th
Thursday.
at Clash. 15th, the 3rd.
Jesus Christ.
Thursday, the 15th at Clash. Friday, the 16th at Pillar. Saturday, the 17th at Cadence.
It's going to be a great time.
It's going to be great.
Yep.
You can pick up a zine there probably if we set up a merch booth.
If we have any left.
Yeah. Oh, we're going to have to print hell of that issue.
Yeah, and in general, it's going to be a great time. I'm really, 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 really looking forward to it. It's been a lot of work. She's done a lot of it.
Yeah, shout out Katie.
So...
This one right here.
Yeah, this Katie to the fucking Kelly.
Katie the goddamn Kelly.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I'm stoked that you guys are doing that 3-day fest. I'm really stoked on everything that Tumbling Rock is doing, and I can't wait to see how it progresses and keeps growing from here, and just, you know, having another music thing in the Twin Cities.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really stoked. Everyone, if you haven't already, go find a copy of Tumbling Rock or order a copy. Go to Mayhem, have a good time, sell it out.
Yes.
All 3 days.
Support the artists.
Yeah.
Buy their
Yep.
merch.
Yes.
Support all the artists. Buy their merch.
Buy a coffee. Buy a beer. Buy whatever.
Support the venues.
Yep.
Support the venues. Support the artists. Just full of love.
Just show up.
Yeah.
Just show up. Go to a show.
That's it.
Go
to a show.
Go to shows.
Call to action. Just find a band you like and just go see their show.
Even if you don't know any of the bands, fuck it. Just go.
Mm-hmm.
If you go
Discover
to
new
a
bands.
show and leave disappointed, I will be shocked.
Yeah, I will be very
There's
shocked.
so much good talent in this.
There's something in the water. I'm just saying.
Well, depending on where you found this episode, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, I think I said Twitter. Blue Sky, or you watch the YouTube version, you guys see their lovely faces like I did tonight. Check the hyperlinks down below. Go follow them on all the socials. Be ready for new copies of the zine. Go get your tickets to Mayhem. Be ready for everything coming next. Podcast and live sets as well.
Yes.
And
whatever the hell else comes up.
If you want to be in it.
Yeah. Hit them up as well. I know there's a lot of homies that I think should go your way if they haven't already. So please do that as well.
All you have to do is ask.
If you want pictures, come to Katie to the Kelly _photos. That's KATY.
There's also on the website too. You can literally contact Kelly.
And then contact Kelly.
Who's Kelly?
Who's Kelly?
Who's that?
Katie to the Kelly.
Katie to the
yeah. But like, it's also Tumbling Rock Zine.
.com,
of course.
.net.
Well, what's your Instagram?
I think
it's
Tumbling
Rock
Rock
Zine. That's what I thought. Yes, Tumbling Rock Zine on Instagram. Katie to the Kelly _photos on Instagram. Hit us up. We would love to work with you. Please hit us up.
Yeah, honestly, just that's all it takes. Just
hit us up.
Just hit us up.
And we would love to promote you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Beers with Bands. You've been amazing.
Yes.
Go to the Beers with Bands Fest on May 31st.
Yes. You fucking assholes.
Yeah, I know. I don't even know when this is coming out.
This comes out end of April. But yeah, please also go to that. I feels weird plugging my own stuff on my.
That's why we're here.
I will be there. I will be there.
I appreciate that. But
Tumbling Rock will be there.
Go follow Tumbling Rock, and I'll catch everyone on the next episode. See ya.
Peace and love.
Mwah.
Beers with Bears.